I'm majoring in elementary special needs. So I'm going to be working with kids who will be in a resource room, kids with disabilities. I started off as a nursing major. I've always wanted to work with kids. I just wasn't quite sure how. So don't be afraid to explore those other options if what you thought you wanted to do isn't working out the way that you thought it would. I love it. I'm not a person who makes friends very easily. I'm very introverted. I like to be by myself, but I've made a lot of friends in this group and I've loved all of my teachers. We're a really tight-knit little group because you start off with the people you're going to continue to go through those classes with. All of the blocks, you end up with pretty much the same group of students. So you already have those friends and you already have the resources that you need because of the fact that you've already been with them for so long. So it's really nice to go into classes and not have to worry about not having any friends, not being able to get notes if you miss a class. You already have that availability. Do not procrastinate. It takes a lot to learn not to do that. And it takes a lot to learn how to study. So when you're going through WU 101, or if you're going through something with, with the student tutors and things like that, use those resources. So in all of the blocks, you have at least one practicum classroom. So either you're in one or two different classrooms throughout the year. I've been in, I believe, 4 so far. Throughout your blocks, you do have practicums. You do go into a classroom and you do teach your own lessons. You create your own lesson plans, you create your own lessons, and then you go in and actually teach them yourself. You do get plenty of opportunities to be in the classroom. The education program does offer a scholarship to education students. If you're accepted into the program, they offer scholarships through that. I would definitely apply for that. It's helpful.
So I'm from Plainville, Kansas, and that's in the western part of the state. And I decided I wanted to move away from home and experience more than just western Kansas. And then the reason that I was interested in English was I've always wanted to be a teacher. But in junior high and high school, I had an amazing English teacher. I just chose English because I feel like I could do the most good with English, either 6th, 7th, or 8th grade. The education department still offers the chance to get involved with their organizations. So I am actually part of the Washburn Education Association, OMEP, an organization for early childhood. Even though I'm not early childhood, but they still let me be a part of it. And I actually went to Belize with that group to a international conference for teachers. So that was super cool. There's so many opportunities to get involved in both departments. And then, like I said, even take it further into another country. You put homework first above anything else. So set study times, or say I'm going to study Monday, Wednesday, Friday nights, or Tuesday, Thursday nights for so many hours. That's really important to put that into your schedule. I actually graduate in December. I'm looking forward to student teaching, obviously, but also all of the last things that I get to do. I'm involved in a lot of organizations, and I'm still going to continue doing those while I student teach.
I want to teach secondary, so I'm going to be licensed in secondary education, which means I could either teach middle or high school. I'm leaning more towards high school. In both the math department and education department, I feel so valued. I've loved my experience so much. I have so many fun stories, and yes, you need to put some effort in, but you can see that there are other people on campus who are putting the effort to be connected with you also. I have classmates who, reach out, or professors, they even just want to know you more on a personal level, which is really helpful because it gives you that support system. You might be away from home, and so creating Washburn and being engulfed in the home that is Washburn is super helpful. If you're interested in being successful in your coursework, get some sleep. Sleep is so important. I know it's really tempting to stay up, but go to bed, please. Go to tutoring if you need help with a professor or another student. And it's such a great resource, and oftentimes it's not so busy, so you can get quite a lot of one-on-one time. And also go to office hours. Go see your professor. If you have a question, ask it. Even if you think it's stupid, ask it, because, you know, how else are you going to find out the information?
So my name is Katie Glatczak, and I am from Centralia, Kansas, super small town. I will be a junior, and I am a physical education major. And why Washburn? I'm actually a women's basketball player. So I picked Washburn because I loved the campus and the people, and everything is just so wonderful there. And coming from a small town, Washburn was a really good fit for me because it is a smaller college compared to most. And so that has been a blessing for sure for me. Keep an open mind and meet as many people as you can, because it's so cool at Washburn how many connections that you'll make. Because being from a small town, you don't think that you'll know anyone, but once you get there, it's so cool that, you know, the connections you make with professors or students, and it just feels like home. The education department, my freshman year, I took a few education classes. This past year, I've taken more kinesiology, so I haven't been in the education department as much. But my freshman year, I loved the education department, especially Professor Carter. He was my WU 101 teacher, and he was so good and explained so much, because coming in as a freshman can be tough. Professor Dirks, I've loved every single one of her classes because it's all hands-on, and as a teacher, obviously you want to get that experience all throughout college, especially during the classes. You don't want to just get thrown in the classroom your senior year or whenever you student teach. And that's what's so good about Professor Dirks, is every single class you're always teaching, whether she's bringing in kids from the daycare or other schools, or if it's your classmates. That has been so cool. My hometown, it's a K-12 building, and so I would love the opportunity to be able to teach PE, K-12, and then I also want to coach at the high school level. And so it just depends on, you know, where I end up, but I would like to do elementary, but also I would love secondary, just so that I can coach high school volleyball and basketball. The professors, they're so good, and they're so willing to help at all times.